He could have become a king, but chose to walk away. He controlled an army, but refused absolute power. He survived failure, war, betrayal, and death itself, and still became the first president of the United States. This is not a success story. This is a survival story. And once you hear it, you'll never look at leadership the same way again. Before we dive in, if you love shocking true stories, untold history, and legendary journeys, subscribe to Celeb Facts 360, because the stories we tell here are not taught in school, but they shape the world you live in. Now, let's begin. George Washington was born on February 22, 1732, in Colonial, Virginia. At just 11 years old, his father died. In the 1700s, this wasn't just emotional pain, it was a fight for survival. No strong education, no powerful protection, and no guaranteed future. Most boys would disappear into history. George Washington didn't. Washington didn't grow up rich or famous. He grew up disciplined. While others complained, he trained his mind. While others relied on luck, he relied on control. This discipline became the foundation of everything he would become. As a teenager, Washington became a land surveyor. This job pushed him into dangerous forests, freezing nights, unknown territory. He faced illness, wild animals, constant risk. Without knowing it, he was learning how to survive pressure and how to command land. These skills would later defeat an empire. In his early 20s, Washington joined the British Army, and he failed. Bad decisions, lost battles, public criticism. History books rarely tell you this, but George Washington was not a natural winner. He was a student of failure, and that's what made him dangerous. After the war, Britain increased control over the colonies. Heavy taxes, no representation, no freedom. The colonies were no longer asking, they were demanding. In 1775, George Washington was chosen as Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army, not because he wanted power, but because people trusted him with survival. Winter at Valley Forge nearly ended America. Soldiers starved. They froze. Disease killed thousands. Some had no shoes. Their feet bled into the snow. Washington stayed. He refused comfort. He refused privilege. He chose to suffer with his men. This moment separated leaders from rulers. With discipline, patience, and French support, the impossible happened. In 1781, at the Battle of Yorktown, the British surrendered. America was free. George Washington held unlimited power, and the world watched closely. The people wanted a king. The army supported him. Washington refused. He resigned his command and walked away. Even King George III of Britain said, "If he truly gives up power, he will be the greatest man alive. That single decision changed world history. In 1789, George Washington was unanimously elected the first president of the United States. There were no rules, so he created them. Civilian control of the military, peaceful leadership, limited presidential power. After 2 terms, he stepped down again, not because he had to, but because he believed leadership must end. Death couldn't end his influence. George Washington died on December 14, 1799. The nation mourned, but his system survived. He didn't just create America, he protected it from tyranny. Final powerful message. George Washington wasn't born powerful. He became powerful by restraint. From a surviving child to a revolutionary leader to the first